Hello, everybody. I believe we are live, and if you can hear me okay, then please say, because we've got Famida here moderating, and we probably only have a few of you watching live, but a few might come in as we go through, because we just want to try out a new format, and we want to create content weekly, and the purpose of this is because we've noticed quite a big disconnect. I'll carry on talking unless Famida tells me that people can't hear, but please say in the live chat if you think there is an issue. But we've noticed a really big disconnect between some members of our community understanding much of what we're actually working on and where we're going next and where we're going as an industry. So I give a lot of content on other people's YouTube channels and other people's podcasts and TV channels. And they often want me to talk about Bitcoin and various other things, and how I got into it. But we don't have I guess, content dedicated just for our BnkToTheFuture.com investors and community. And so that's exactly what this is right now. And I wanted to really start at the beginning of going through the platform and going through some of the changes that have happened recently, and trying to explain and help people understand where we're going. And the way that I look at it right now is that when you have a bear market, you have a great opportunity to build. And that's really a constant theme with the companies that are going to be succeeding, that are going to be here for a long time in the crypto markets, as opposed to the ones that are kind of dropping off at the moment. What we're going to do is, if you've got any questions as we go through, Famida's going to be looking through either the Telegram channels or the live chat, and we'll try and get to some of those questions as we go through. As opposed to, we recently did an Ask Me Anything session and I had very poor internet connection, so it didn't come out well at all. So what we're going to do is just switch to these more regular content sessions on what's happening at BnkToTheFuture.com. So I'm just going to switch to a screen share first, because I want to share with you and go through the platform. And so I believe that you will see an infinite load of videos right now because I'm showing my own Google view. But hopefully now, Famida, can you confirm that you can see the screen and my account on BnkToTheFuture.com?
Yes, I can. Hello, everyone. Everything looks good on your screen, Simon.
Excellent. Okay. So what I wanted to do is really go through some of the things that we're working on right now on the platform, and some of the things that people might not have actually noticed because they may not be, either our user experience needs to improve, or they just may not have been on that section because they're used to a routine. So traditionally, the invest page has always been the page that people come to find new deals. And we list all our previous deals that we've done, and we list the new deals that are live. Typically, we work with about 1 to 2, sometimes it goes up to about 4 or 5 deals at a time. We're normally working with about 10 companies at a time in the pitch management team. But not all of them make it, because once we're creating a pitch or we find something that we don't think is right, that our investors are going to be looking for, or the market opportunity changes and sometimes they don't make it. In terms of the application page, which is where people come along here and they click raise, and this is where a lot of people would apply. I think we've got our Cloudflare on right now, so it's taking me through that. And on the raise page is where people apply. Now, we get hundreds of applications here, but very, very few of them, less than 1%, I'd probably say, actually make it to having an interview with a member of our pitch management team. We work with the companies closely, and we've never been about trying to get as many deals as possible on the invest tab, but rather focus on what we think our investors are actually looking for. Then our community will tell us whether these are deals that they'd like to see or not. Some people love them, some people hate them. Most deals are kind of like Marmite in that sense. This is where we list all the new deals. Now, what people might not have noticed is that we recently launched into beta our secondary market. And now this has been getting a lot of our team's attention at the moment, and this is really what we're focused on. And that is creating a market whereby the deals that have already raised finance on our primary market, and the Invest tab is where you can see the primary market. I also should mention, we do different types of deals here. We do equity deals, which is where you will be buying shares in the company via one of our SPV vehicles. And the reason we get access to deals that no one else can get access to is because most companies, especially the ones that are very good and succeeding, don't want hundreds and hundreds of investors on their capitalization table as shareholders, because it's just too hard to manage, and then it messes up their chances of raising further funding in the future. So the reason that they are more happy to use a structure like ours is because we do it all via a special purpose vehicle, an SPV, where we become the one investor on the cap table, and you will become shareholders in that special purpose vehicle, which allows us to actually take away a lot of the hard work from the company and only update one investor or one investor forum. But you get the opportunity to invest a lot lower sum as a qualifying investor without actually having to, without the company, well, the opportunity just wouldn't exist. They wouldn't open it up unless we did such a structure. But one of the things, a lot of our investors have built significant, shares in companies that have become very valuable. We also do tokens. Now, the token sale market comes in and out of trend. The equity market is pretty consistent. What we found during the 27 token sale boom is that no company was offering equity no matter what, because they were all issuing tokens, and tokens was the bull market where all the funding was. Now, we took a little bit of time to adjust to the token market because we were certain that these are securities and need to be sold in compliance with securities laws. We do believe that the utility token can exist, but when selling them to investors, you need to sell them in compliance with securities laws. So anyone that did a token sale, and we syndicated part of it through our platform, we would always have done that in mind of international securities laws. So we dodged several bullets that others didn't dodge there. And now we're having, this emergence back to equity, where most of the deals are equity deals on our platform. And also we're looking at that this equity can now be securities tokens. And so we've been investing and iterating out to the securities token market one step at a time. But while most people are kind of just building things that they think the market might want, we're slightly different in that we've already got 68,000 qualifying investors that have registered through our platform. And we do everything with live customers, and we're actually doing it on the move and figuring out what customers find hard to use, what investors don't find hard, and actually doing it in a live environment. But gradually iterating out to maybe this equity will be tokenized in the future, or securities will be done through the security token market. The jury's out on that, but our job is to bring the types of things that we would invest into and allow other investors to co-invest with us. And so you can see some of the token pitches that we might have done, and then equity deals. And you also get other vehicles like convertible notes, which is how most companies get funded in Silicon Valley, whereby they don't quite know the valuation of the company yet. So they sell an investment product that will convert to equity in the future at a fixed discount, and various other products that are commonly used in investing in private equity in financial technology companies. But this trade section is really important because it's been such a constant request from our investors Yeah, sorry, that's going through the filter to protect from DDoS attacks. It's been such a request, and it's a very easy thing to achieve in terms of technology, but a very challenging thing to achieve in terms of both, simultaneously compliance, a fair market, technology, and then all the regulations that you need to adhere to as well. But we launched it into beta, and we're really excited about what we're bringing to market here, because now people are going to be able to invest in a diversified pool of companies in the Bitcoin, crypto, and financial technology space. And this isn't something that you traditionally have been able to do without being a venture capitalist. Just going to get off some of those notifications there. You haven't been able to do without being a venture capitalist, a professional venture capital investor. But many of our investors are high net worth, sophisticated investors, various other categories of investor that want to diversify very widely. And at the moment, while we're in beta, just testing our secondary market, the first one we launched is the Bitfinex SPV. Now, it's very important to understand that you're not actually trading shares in Bitfinex itself. You're trading shares in our special company that owns shares in Bitfinex. So for every share in the SPV is backed by one share in Bitfinex. And this is one of the things that allows us to actually create this secondary market without the underlying company having to be a public company, and all the things that are involved in a company going public. And this is what essentially creates a unique opportunity for investors. Now, when we just launched into beta, the first thing we did is we launched a order book that allowed the existing investors to actually place a sell order. And so, on this account that we're using for the purpose of this, you can see that this account holds some shares in Bitfinex, so they can therefore place a sell order. And today we just launched the ability to actually place buy orders at a lower price, as long as you actually have a balance in your BnkToTheFuture.com account. And so you can see on the left all the people that are looking to buy Bitfinex shares, and on the right all the people that are looking to sell some of their Bitfinex shares at different prices. This buy side actually is just new today, and that's just come out. In order to buy shares and place a buy order, you're going to need to actually deposit funds in the fund section of your account. At the moment, in beta, the only way to deposit funds is to either already have an existing account balance on BnkToTheFuture.com, or to actually use Tether. And so you can use Tether to actually deposit dollar-backed tokens to your account. And then at that stage, they work just like dollars. You can place an order, you can withdraw them as dollars through our banking partnerships, and you can do that just as you normally would. And down here you can see these are all the trades that have actually happened. Now these are real trades that have happened in our beta, and you can see that this is not as active as a cryptocurrency exchange by certainly, but these are all real orders of investors that invested in Bitfinex. They invested approximately $1, and you can see the price of the trade. So most people have had between a 9 and 15x return on their investment in Bitfinex. And the price, if you were to purchase the SPV equity in Bitfinex at these prices, if you're a qualifying investor, then you would be able to do that at pretty much much lower valuation than most of the other exchanges at the moment. And that's because we're in beta, and we haven't really started pushing this. We will intend to really start to invest in some marketing once the timing is right for the bear market to turn around, and we see some more there. And also when we've launched approximately 10 deals on our secondary market. And those 10 deals, we have already decided what we want to launch. And they are 10 of the largest companies in the cryptocurrency industry that most of our investors would not be able to get exposure to. They're not necessarily ones that have actually raised funding on our primary markets, because this opens up a new opportunity. But the end goal, once we come out of beta, once we tested the Bitfinex secondary market, we want to open approximately 9 other markets. And the end goal is that we have a seamless process, and this is whereby if somebody wants to build a portfolio in the largest crypto companies or financial technology companies, then they can simply press a few buttons once they've actually onboarded, shown that they're a qualifying investor and that they're qualified to invest in the jurisdiction that they're residents in. Then they'll be able to just automatically get a really diversified portfolio in crypto companies. And they could select the ones that they want to have in their portfolio, or they could retract them, or they could almost auto invest in a very quick way. Now, that's not going to be an overnight process. That's what the rest of our year looks like in terms of rolling that out. But that's going to be the end game of what we're trying to achieve with our secondary market. And so just so you know, there's some features here you can see. So when we actually, here's some description with some FAQs, and we're going to add to that to make it more clear. You go to the market, you can see the market. Eventually, there will be approximately 10 different companies, SPV companies that we own shares in the SPV, and the SPV market's there. And then you can trade them and see the order books of who's looking to buy and sell. Again, this is not a fast cryptocurrency trading market. This is very much long-term investing still, high risk, high return type of, and for qualifying investors only as well. But you can see some of your live trades. I don't have any trades in this particular account, and some of the orders. We got that. I think we've got everything on quite high alert at the moment because of making sure we're protecting against any DDoS attacks and everything. And we've been doing a lot in order to do that. And so you can see these markets here on trade. The next is really only applicable to some of the companies that are looking to raise funding, and we welcome your application, and we'll got a pitch management team that will review that and conduct an interview with the ones that we think are appropriate for our investors. You'll notice this new wallet tab, which is new on the website. So I'm just going to click that, and that's going to open up bfwallet.com. Now, some of the feedback that we've received from our investors is, why would I want another wallet in a very competitive market? And I think that's a very fair comment if this was just a cryptocurrency wallet. But the first version of this wallet is a cryptocurrency wallet. And the reason it is for that is because we are actually building for the securities token market. And today we actually sent through to Apple version 2 of the wallet and to Google. And once that is actually approved by Apple and Google on Android and iOS, then we're actually going to have our first securities token on there. And this is really the only and first wallet that we're aware of on iOS and Android where you can hold securities tokens. Now, what that will mean in the future is that depending on where the securities token market goes, now remember, we're doing things slightly different. Most people in this industry are building things that they think the market is going to want. But because we're live and very few are in our position in terms of having as many qualifying investors and having access to deal flow and some of the history and the work that we've done to build our compliance models and everything that we've done up until now since we first started our journey in 2010, allows us to actually iterate into the securities token market rather than actually saying, okay, all of our equity needs to be securities. We're actually going to do it based upon demand. So if we build the technology that allows some of our new investment opportunities, for example, on the invest page, we launched and syndicated one of the very first securities tokens. I mean, the first one we did was the Bitfinex, where you were able with the hack recovery token, which was a very unique use case. The second one was obviously blockchain capital, which we invested in, but we didn't do anything through the platform at the time. But the third one that we actually launched on the platform, which was the first securities token that actually got enough traction to actually be there, was the one operated by lottery.com. And lottery.com, here we go, did a securities token offering that gives people a revenue share. Now at the moment, it comes to token delivery time. And so normally we would just deposit the tokens to investors' accounts on Bank to the Future, and they can request a withdrawal. But this time, now we've got the BF wallet, we are able to deliver those tokens to the user's BnkToTheFuture.com account in the centralized way as we normally do. And we can make sure that we adhere to all the securities laws and everything we need to adhere to in order to be a business and to stay alive, and to to make sure that we can bring these opportunities in the future. But they can be withdrawn to your Bank to the Future wallet, the BF wallet, which is now available for you to download on iOS and Android. And so after this release, the lottery.com investors are going to be able to take those security tokens off BnkToTheFuture.com. As long as they, so we are essentially, this security token was built using another company that we invested in and brought the opportunity to investors using a protocol built by this company. Where are they? Here we go, Securitize. So Securitize building a protocol that allows companies like lottery.com to launch their securities tokens. Now, while we don't want to be involved in building the protocols, but we are happy to invest in the companies that are building that part of the infrastructure because it's such a collaborative effort. So Securitize is one of the first to market whereby lottery.com can actually launch a securities token, and the BF wallet is integrated with the Securitize protocol. And what this allows us to do as a company that's registered with our regulator as a securities business, and through our partnerships with our broker dealers and various other institutions that are registered with regulators that allow us to do this, we can now have the ability for them to take those tokens off their BnkToTheFuture.com account and seamlessly have them on the Bank to the Future wallet. And we're an integrated whitelisting partner whereby we can actually whitelist the companies that are actually qualified to be able to invest and trade this token. And then if you want to put those on a securities token exchange as the ecosystem evolves, then you're going to be able to send those to and from the securities token exchange. But in the meantime, you can hold the securities token either on BnkToTheFuture.com in our normal centralized manner, or you can take it off BnkToTheFuture.com and hold it under your own security model on the BF wallet. Now remember, because this can only be sent to whitelisted partners, when you get your wallet, when you get your address whitelisted on Bank to the Future, by having a BnkToTheFuture.com account, passing all the qualification criteria, the KYC, everything we have to do as a securities business, then you can get your BF wallet address whitelisted, allow you to receive tokens from all of the exchange partners of these securities tokens from BnkToTheFuture.com and everyone that's building in the ecosystem. And then you can store them on your BnkToTheFuture.com wallet, which allows you to be custodial to the security token. You can do it under your own security model, but you can't send it. And a hacker can't steal it unless they're a whitelisted address or they hack someone's whitelisting database or something like that. So it's an interesting security model. Now, you don't have to do any of that, but if you're investing in securities tokens, and we're seeing more and more issuers now deciding that they're going to issue securities tokens instead, we now have the infrastructure, partnerships, and to be able to do that from end to end as the exchanges and securities token exchanges start building up liquidity, and this ecosystem evolves. And so that's why the BF wallet was a really important part of our ecosystem. And it's not just a cryptocurrency wallet. While it does allow you to store cryptocurrencies, we'll only be supporting the cryptocurrencies that are important to the ecosystem of securities tokens. Now, at the moment, all the development for securities tokens is happening in Ethereum. We are also watching as a team, the Liquid network on blockchain and Rootstock and RSK on the Bitcoin blockchain rather, and making sure that we're up to date with wherever the securities token market might actually go. And the only goal of the BF wallet is to support, the important cryptocurrencies that are part of where these security tokens are actually being issued and built upon. And so that's why we started with Ethereum. We'll be looking at what's happening with Bitcoin Rootstock, who is another company that allows for tokenization on the Bitcoin blockchain. Blockstream's Liquid network, and a couple of other. There's a new deal that's about to go live that's also looking at building their own securities token protocol on Ethereum, and T0 and various other players that we're looking to partner with as this ecosystem grows. So that's why the wallet. So far, just a quick recap. We've got new investment opportunities on the Invest tab. We've got the secondary market where we're in beta right now, but we're looking to have 10 of the largest companies in crypto trading, where you can buy and sell and build a diversified portfolio if you miss the primary market deals. So the primary market feeds the secondary market, and in the future, if the industry adjusts to securities tokens, you'll be able to do it on the BF wallet. But in the meantime, when issuers are launching securities tokens, we've got the infrastructure, we're integrated with the partners, and the BF wallet allows you to actually do that. Now, while the moment the BF wallet might just look like a cryptocurrency wallet, you'll notice that there's also the ability to connect it with your BnkToTheFuture.com account, and we'll obviously look to increase the ability to view your portfolio. But we're waiting at the moment because in April we've started already, but we're due to release in April, May, the rebuilt portfolio section of your account based upon your feedback and everything that we got our investors to participate in giving feedback on how they'd like that to be. So we're excited about that. We recognize that some of you are not so happy with how the portfolio section looks right now. The reason that we had to change it slightly is because we wanted to get the secondary market out. And in order to launch our secondary market, it required a rebuilding of the way that we actually, it's geeky, it doesn't really matter, but it required a lot of rebuilding in terms of how the assets and portfolios are actually displayed. And therefore, we'd rather get the secondary market out into beta than wait for everything to be perfect and iterate gradually out to improving the portfolio. Now, the final question is the final section I think is important. Obviously, we've got support and our new careers center that will be coming soon, and all the other parts of the account, but also the new section that and this menu is about to be relaunched as well into a kind of a products and services section. But we've also got the details of the Bank to the Future token. Now, some of you might be asking about what our plans are for the Bank to the Future token, because we still got the original page from when we were doing our token sale. We haven't adjusted that yet but in a future live broadcast, what I'd like to do is actually go through the roadmap of what we said we were going to do in our after our token sale, how we did, what we have done, what we haven't done, and we'll do that in a separate video, I think, next time we go live. And do give us our feedback on what you'd like us to do on these videos. This is just very much an overview and a start so that you can see what we've actually been working on. But the way that we think of the Bank to the Future token is in everything we do, we're looking at how we can leverage the fact that we have the Bank to the Future token in everything that we do. So if you think about it, Binance is, they've got their BNB token, and they're a tremendous success story because they've integrated the token, the Binance token, into pretty much everything they do. And they've created a very successful cryptocurrency exchange. We see ourselves as the Bank to the Future token is pretty much going to be integrated into everything we do. And we see it very much as like Binance has the BNB token for the cryptocurrency exchange use case. We think it's the same for the securities token use case. And so Bank to the Future token at the moment allows you to get priority access to every deal that we launch on our platform. Now, that was the first use case when we launched it. And we also are looking at the other, well, we've done parts of it. So at the moment, you can also notice that we've got a companies page. And in this companies page, we're probably going to get the secure thing to make sure, because every time we go off of it, you'll notice that we've launched our companies page, and this is actually going to be used more as a due diligence center and for people to be able to see what companies are trading, which companies raise funding through our platform, and also have a section whereby the community can actually put companies on here that they would like us to be working with. We're going to have a whole due diligence center and investor relations center where people can earn the BFT token for providing useful feedback there in due diligence and investor relations. But the use case that's getting a lot of popularity right now in beta, and remember we are in beta, so volume's low, but it's still, we're really happy with the trades that are coming through, is that we noticed about 65% of all the trades on Bank to the Future secondary market in beta have used BFT in order to pay their trading fee. So the way that it actually works is you can deposit your Bank to the Future tokens to your BnkToTheFuture.com account. And when you deposit those, if you maintain a minimum balance of 10,000, either on your BF wallet or on your BnkToTheFuture.com account, depending on how you prefer to store those, then you will get priority access to deals and priority notifications 48 hours before before everyone else. But those that also put a larger balance on their BnkToTheFuture.com account, when you actually place a trade, let's see if it actually works here. So let's say I wanted to actually buy this order. Then you'll notice this button here whereby you can use your Bank to the Future tokens to pay. It takes the live market price at CoinMarketCap, and you get a 50% discount on that trading fee. So rather than the 2.5% fee, you get the 1.25% fee. And we've noticed about 65% of the people that are trading, that have placed a trade in the secondary market, are actually doing that. Now, we recognize it's a bit clunky at the moment because if you had the tokens on your wallet, you can't use them to pay for the token because we don't have access to your wallet. The wallet isn't something we can pull funds out of. You wouldn't want that. That's what the centralized solution at Bank to the Future is. And so therefore you need to actually have them on your BnkToTheFuture.com account, but we've been looking at ways we can actually improve that user experience, make it seamless for you to buy Bank to the Future tokens, which at the moment is very difficult. You have to be very used to using an exchange like Bitrex or Bitfinex or Huobi or Upbit and some of the other exchanges. But we will, in the future, certainly be making it where it's very easy for you to get those tokens, so that you can top them up and you can put them between your wallet and you can put them between Bank to the Future very seamlessly and easily. As we iterate out further this year. So at the moment, the main use cases for the token is firstly that it's giving our members priority access to deals. The more significant use case is giving people discounted trading fees. And the wallet, the BF wallet, you can actually use right now to store your Bank to the Future token. So there's a nice wallet on iOS and Android. Now, we also know that we have some challenges in terms of the ease of people depositing funds to their BnkToTheFuture.com account. But we are also working on automating that a lot more. So it's a lot more seamless to deposit dollars, and we've got our automated banking partnership as well that allows us to do that, and our escrow partnerships that allows us to do that in a compliant way, and also our more centralized custodial solution of holding some of the funds at Bank to the Future versus the wallet version where you can hold them on your own, and iterating into a non-custodial solution as well. So we will be working on those throughout the year, and everything we do will be using BFT at the center of the ecosystem of what we do. Now, we're really grateful to have this opportunity to actually build out these solutions and get better and better at creating a better user experience based upon real life use cases, and integrating the token into everything we're doing, because we see it as a vital part of the ecosystem. That's really just making sure that you're aware of some of the things that we're actually working on. Now, at the moment, we're in a bear market. We're still doing plenty of business. We're really happy because the bear market has brought to us a real nice deal flow, as one of the only companies that can get funding in this tough markets. We're very happy with the number of staff that we got. We'd always like more, but we didn't overhire during the bull market, and we don't need to do layoffs. And we haven't wasted much resources on those things. But there's not much point investing in significant marketing during the bull market, during the bear market, because you get pretty much 10 times less the effect than if you were doing that. But we've got we're really happy with our strategy and our approach, so that when this is ready, the bear market turns around a bit, there's more volume, there's more interest. We're really comfortable and happy with our approach to how we launch this to market, how we bring this to market, and the use case that we think that we will get that increase in volume of use in the BF token, the more our ecosystem grows and gets built. So really, that's everything I wanted to go through. I could probably talk on this for a long time, but hopefully, I know that most of you will be watching this in recording, but if there is anyone live on Telegram or in the live chat that has any questions, perhaps Famida could let us know, and we could actually get to some of your questions. And hopefully this has all come out a lot better than the last AMA, where the sound quality was almost unbearable, unfortunately. So Famida, have we got anything that we'd like to?
Hi. Yes, we do actually have some questions.
Okay, I'm gonna switch back to video, I think, so you can see me when I answer these things.
Yeah, sure.
If I can figure that out. Okay, can you see me now?
Yeah, see you perfectly. Great.
Okay. Just before I take that question, one thing we are actually working on. I'm just at my home at the moment. I just got back from Satoshi Roundtable in Cancun. But we're also investing in getting a really nice studio built, because our plan to actually create a lot more content is something that we really want to push up the quality and get a lot better at. So that's going to take us several months to actually be live, but we think the effect is going to be great once we've done it.
All right, so I am just going to go straight in. We have had some questions from our regulars. H3, you might know Simon. So there is still actually some clarity problems, I think, for some of our users and investors that are still a bit unsure about what the benefits or how to use BFT or what happens after using BFT. So one kind of direct question here is, when BFT is used as fees for trades, what happens to the BFT collected by Bank to the Future?
This is actually a really great question, because at the moment we just take it as revenue, as if we were charging a fee as normal, and we're just holding those. We're not doing anything with them. We have no intention of selling those. We're perfectly happy with our financial position as a company. But I think it's a really good question, because there is an opportunity to do something interesting with those tokens. They can either be, we can either look at how we can use them to support adoption in the future, rewards, or we could do something interesting like just burn them. The only challenge is that we haven't actually decided exactly what we're going to do with those yet, because they are the company tokens, they are fees that we earn as a company. And we're not doing anything with them at the moment. But if you burn them, it might actually have a negative impact, because we haven't done the regulatory compliance work on this yet, but it might create an ecosystem that removes the utility of the token and turns it more into a security, in which case it could only then be traded on securities token exchanges as opposed to cryptocurrency exchanges. All of that is not legal advice, not legal opinions. We haven't investigated this. We would need to seek much more clarity from our legal counsel and team. But it gives you an insight into what our thinking is around that right now, because I think it would be very nice to actually take those tokens out of the ecosystem. But we need to do a bit more work in understanding whether that would have any negative consequences in terms of regulatory, or if there's an alternative way that can to support the development and adoption of BFT within the securities token ecosystem.
Great, thanks for that, Simon. And also, I've just noticed that actually in a couple of our AMAs already, and also in this chat, there's still problems with really defining or understanding for some of our users and investors about the BF wallet. So if you could just give a really just basic outline, maybe numbers 1 to 3, like what is the best benefits of using the BF wallet, just for clarity for everyone.
Yeah, so the BF wallet at the moment, if you are one of the investors in lottery.com, then it's the way that you can actually receive your lottery security tokens. That's probably not the correct way. I can't remember. My dev team will probably correct what the tokens are actually called. But so it's a way for you to actually claim your securities tokens, and it will be a wallet for securities tokens. So at the moment, there are several securities tokens which are worth looking at, whether it be blockchain capital built upon the securitized protocol, or the lottery.com token, or other ones built on different protocols like the T0 token. It's a wallet that allows you to store your security tokens. At the same time, it does allow you to store BFT and ETH, because ETH is needed in order to actually pay the gas fees when you make transactions, just like every other Ethereum token in the securities token ecosystem. And so ETH is there for that, and also BFT. So many people wanted a wallet that isn't something very clunky like My Ether wallet, which is a great wallet, but disgusting. Let's face it, it's just horrific user experience and horrible to use, but good technology from my experience of using it. We wanted to create a way of you holding your BFT in a very simple way, but at the same time gaining access to any membership perks like priority access deals. And so it is a BFT wallet for you to hold your BFT. It is a securities token wallet. And it also will become an app that allows you to see things on BnkToTheFuture.com, like your portfolio and any funds you may have on your BnkToTheFuture.com account. And at the moment, you can pull your ETH and BFT in a very simple way from your BnkToTheFuture.com account, where we hold it as custodian, to your own self-custodial model, where you own the private key on your phone, and we'll be doing more and more of that as we iterate into the securities token market.
All right, so moving on now to just questions about the platform. We have one here. Why does Tether take all weekend to withdraw? Could do being able to get those transactions out quicker.
Yeah, so one of the difference, again, it's a great question. And the reason people ask that is because they're used to a cryptocurrency exchange. And in a cryptocurrency exchange, it was built for the cryptocurrency market. And cryptocurrency exchanges are not subject to the same regulations that a securities business would be. Now, as securities and cryptocurrency merge in this securities token ecosystem, a lot of our investors either came from the traditional securities industry and they understand how fast we are, or they came from the cryptocurrency industry and they think we're incredibly slow. The reason for that is because we have to adhere to certain additional manual checks that a cryptocurrency exchange wouldn't need to. And we have a security model whereby it involves manual work, whereas a cryptocurrency exchange would automate it, which is why they're the subject to ginormous hacks, because everything's automated and a hacker might be able to get in the way of that automation. Whereas at Bank to the Future, we have a manual process, and at the moment, we do not have 24/7 people working around the clock. We are working on that. We've recently hired staff in different time zones. And at the same time, we're working on our next layer of automation. And so we just automated US dollar withdrawals through our banking partner in a compliant way with securities laws, where we can do the checks that we need to do, and make sure that we've got, we're balancing several things here. We're balancing 24/7 access. We're balancing security of making sure that the assets are secured, and compliance, whereby we have to put manual processes in the middle to meet the requirements of our regulator and the different laws that we have to adhere to. And so the cryptocurrency user that's used to using a cryptocurrency exchange will find our withdrawal process fairly painful, because it takes a bit of time. There's manual process, and we don't necessarily have 24/7 support at the moment. But we're working towards, one, the automation process. So we've taken a lot of those compliance rules, and we've been working very closely to make sure that we can automate certain parts of those processes that can be automated. And we've just started one part at a time to automate. So at the moment, if you request a withdrawal in US dollar, then we have an automated process of getting that to your bank account. At the moment, if you deposit certain Tether or something, then we need to do a manual check, and a bit of a manual process as well in order to get that deposit. We're working on the process of integrating automated deposits for US dollar, and then also being able to deposit, withdraw cryptocurrencies in a more automated fashion that you might be used to at an exchange. So I understand that you don't really care or want to know any of that, but when you ask the question, behind the hood, there's a lot involved in those processes. And as somebody that needs to comply with securities laws, we have to do things slightly differently than a cryptocurrency exchange. But now securities and cryptocurrency are kind of merging through the token market, and we've always done that because we allow for people to invest with crypto as well as fiat. People find the process isn't necessarily what they're used to, and so we've got to manage that, and we've got to get better at our automation. But just rest assured, we're working on it, we're improving one part at a time to meet the expectations of what people are used to.
Okay, on to the next question here. Can we get DAI added to the platform to a degree of stable coin? Does that make any sense?
Yep, it does. So DAI is one of the early Ethereum stablecoin projects. We're looking at stablecoins to support based upon a number of factors, but on our list of things to actually look at, we've got TUSD, which is true USD. We've got USDC, which is Circle's stable coin. And still at the moment, all of the volume is in Tether. DAI, I believe, is way further down on that list. And I think the Gemini and Huobi also have one, and then there's stable coins of stable coins. The approach that we're taking is that we're going to be doing it based upon volume. And at the moment, the second largest is USDC. And we don't want to be integrating with every single iteration of a stable coin unless it actually gets used. And at the moment, Tether is still King Kong in terms of in stable coins. USDC is getting some volume. TUSD is getting some under that, and then you've got a long tail of things that don't really have much volume. At the moment, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone could fact check me on Twitter or something, but I don't think DAI has got enough volume to be interesting at this stage.
Okay. I guess I can combine these two questions. When will the secondary market be out of beta? Have you got any dates? And when will we be seeing new assets added to the secondary market?
So I don't have a specific date. And one theme that you'll notice at Bank to the Future is that we don't actually tend to give dates. And when we're forced to give dates, it causes problems if you don't meet those dates. So our approach has always been only announce things that are ready. And we're working on all those things. We have several more features that have been requested, in the secondary market. And so at the moment, the first version of the secondary market allowed for investors to place a sell order. Oh God, it's going to ask me to do this. I'm not going to attempt this on live TV. On live broadcast, we'll leave that over there. So the first version was allowing for sell orders. Then the next version was making some iterative improvements in terms of the ability to deposit, withdraw. The third version in beta added volume statistics. The fourth version added buy orders. And we've got a few more features that are being requested in terms of charts and more integration with company pages so that you can have more of a live discussion on the investor zone and discussion pages when you're considering. So just so you know, on all of our company pages, we have what's known as a discussion and investor zone. A discussion is a public forum for any member of Bank to the Future that qualifies to invest. And they may not have necessarily invested in that company yet, so you can have a public discussion, and that might be useful for people considering buying in the secondary market that haven't bought yet. And an investor zone, which is an investor-only forum for those that are actually shareholders in the SPV. And we're looking to get a tighter integration between the company page and the secondary market, so that when people are looking at those markets, there's more of a live discussion feel. And then that creates a new use case for BFT as well, as people start doing live due diligence and investor relations. So once we've got more of those features out and the market is looking like we want it to look at, then we're also really taking considerations around some of the internal things that happen at Bank to the Future, like training new staff, which we're working on. Increasing our marketing resource based upon when the market turns around. So there's market factors, there's personnel factors. We don't want to be in a position where the market turns around and we can't deliver the customer service we'd like to. We already want to improve our customer service, and we're working on training our staff in order to deliver a better experience. But at the same time, there's also the technological constraints. But we're We hope that the market has a bit of a turnaround at some point this year, but we'll look to increase the number of assets and just really continue testing. But we don't want to launch a market that ends up with suppressing share prices, lots of people selling, and no real buy orders happening. At the moment, we're comfortable with Bitfinex because the buy volume is good. And we want to make sure that we maintain that with the other markets as we continue to expand it.
All right, great. So I think we have just a couple of more questions left. How are you doing for time, Simon? Do you want to go on for a bit more?
Yeah, I wanted to keep this within an hour, but how much longer have we got?
We've just got, I think, 2 more questions. What do you think?
Okay, let's take the additional 2. And remember, we are going to be. My commitment is to try and do this every week that I can, and so we are committed to looking. And so please do suggest what particular things you'd like us to cover next time. And I think as we get more and more people used to us actually doing live broadcasts and we make it more well known, I think we'll get a lot more questions, and it can probably even switch just to Q&A as we continue. I'm thinking at this stage next week we'll go through the roadmap, what we said we were going to do in 2018 after launching the token sale, what we did, why we changed, and what we're doing next.
Okay, so the next question is about the portfolio value tool that we used to have, which is not actually working at the moment. So the question is, will we be getting an updated implementation that values our holdings for our, I guess, talking about the secondary market trades?
Yeah, I think I know. I think I get the gist of the question. I think it's saying, will the valuation of the companies in the portfolio be based upon the price of the secondary market, or will it be based upon the price of the last funding round? So let me dig into that question because there's a lot there, and it also gives you some background in why we created the secondary market as well. Because one of the challenges was that venture capital investing is very long-term investing. So, some of our investors, when we invested in Kraken, it was at approximately $20 million valuation. And now the latest valuation funding round is at $4 billion. And in the time between it getting from 20 million to 4 billion, and it's got very ambitious plans to get to the next stage as well, the value of the company looked like it was still 20 million, even though it wasn't. The reason is because we cannot make up a price for any of the companies in our portfolio. So the model we've always used is the price to people when they're looking at their portfolio and trying to assess how well their investments are performing, is we've used the price of the last funding round, or the price at a last secondary trade, or the price of the last pricing event, like an exit or a buyback or anything like that. So now when a company succeeded, like Kraken, they didn't need to do any funding. They didn't have any pricing event. And so therefore it stayed there looking like that. And people were like, well, my portfolio sucks. There's no progress here. And it's just because there's no great way of pricing it. So the next iteration of portfolio, we took it away because we switched to restructuring the way that things are done. And the next version of portfolio is designed to be way better for you to understand the value of these assets based upon a number of different metrics. And those metrics could be the price of the last funding round, which is what we traditionally used, the last pricing event, which is what we've always used as well. But also, if it's trading on a secondary market, we get that additional data point. Now, the one tricky thing you do need to be aware of is that we don't necessarily, just like with CoinMarketCap, there's lots of friction around their market cap calculation, because they try and calculate the circulating supply, but the data might not necessarily be available. Now, while we can try and get the data of how many shares the company has actually issued, that is subject to change. And while we might have information rights, we might not have enough to get the data that we necessarily need. And therefore, sometimes it's an estimate of what we think the number of shares are based upon the data the company's given us, but we can't be 100% sure that it's actually doing it without actually doing a full audit of the underlying company. So it has its challenges, We're working through all those challenges. We've got good ideas of how to solve those challenges, and we welcome your suggestions as well. But once we've got that data together, we can then relaunch the portfolio section and give you just a really nice way of getting, an understanding of how much your portfolio is actually worth, and much better data than what we could have delivered before.
All right. So I guess this will be the last question of the day. So in terms of what goes live with the pitches and in the markets and stuff, what's the probability of getting a earlier warning out to our users and investors, warning or notification about these pitches going live, on the markets, so that they can get their monies in time and get in on the investment on time?
Well, we'll take your suggestions on that one, I guess. At the moment, our model is as follows. If you hold 10,000 BFT on your BnkToTheFuture.com account or your BF wallet that is connected to your BnkToTheFuture.com account, then we'll give you 48 hours priority notice on all deals. And then after 48 hours, it will be listed on the platform. And depending on the duration of each pitch, you will have the time frame to invest. Now, some of them are very popular, like Securitize. We had to close early because the demand was all snapped up very early. And really, that's a deal where you want to be a priority access member. Others, they take the full funding round, and we allow for one pitch extension as well for pitches on the platform as well. So really, it really varies pitch by pitch. No two deals are the same. But at the moment, all we got is if you hold 10,000 BFT, and by the way, we also welcome suggestions on that 10,000 BFT, obviously, because the market's come down, corrected quite a lot. I think is a very low number. It was originally designed around the minimum investment being $1,000, and the token was sold at $1, 10 cents, and so we did 10,000 BFT. But during the correction, people are getting those for cheaper. And so when the market turned around, we're sticking with 10,000 for now, but we welcome your suggestions. Yes, so that's the process at the moment. If you have alternative ideas, then post them in Telegram or suggest maybe at the next live broadcast.
All right, I think that's it, Simon.
The one thing we don't want to do, a follow-on point, is we work with deals that fall apart during the process of getting them live. So we will never announce something that then might not go live. So we always wait for it to go live before we announce it, because just things happen in business. A VC might snap up the whole allocation, something else might come along, and the last thing we want to do, and we've had to do it a couple of times where we've launched something and had to reverse it because something happened at some kind of event. We want to do that as least as possible. So announcing things that are still subject to someone changing something is not our style, because we just don't like to disappoint. We'd rather under-promise, over-deliver. So I think that was the last question. Let us know what you think of the live broadcast. Please do like this. Please do share this. Please do comment, and I will read the comments under the videos if you've got additional things that come up from this. There's under this video on YouTube, there's a little bell. When you subscribe, it will make sure that you receive a notification. But if you press the bell, it actually sends you an email every time we go live. So make sure you do that, and then you can make sure that you're getting the live information as it comes in, because I think as we get better at these, we'll probably be using these live broadcasts to make announcements that haven't actually been announced to anywhere else yet. So thank you for picking out those questions for me there, and I hope we're getting more clear, and we welcome all of your suggestions about how we can get the information gap clearer and do a better job.
Great, thanks everyone, and see you again soon.
Bye-bye.